this is just painful. And I guess it's official. Alex Ekubo is dead. And the whole world is reacting. For now, it's being said that he died of cancer, although no specific cancer has been confirmed. Most people are saying liver cancer, some said kidney cancer, some said colon cancer. We are not certain which of the cancer he battled with. But the discussion surrounding him did not even start today. If you recall, there was a time in 2025 when people noticed that Alex Ekubo had not made a post on his social media pages. And people were concerned, people were asking of him, people were wondering what was happening. Some said he was depressed, some said he was just taking a break. And there's a chance that this could have been the time this would have been the time he got his diagnosis. Because prior to that, this was a happy living young man who was active, who seemed to enjoy being an entertainer in movies, going into roles, posting, taking pictures, a fine looking young man. So what just happened? All of a sudden the light starts to dim, and barely a year plus over, he is dead. And it's now dawning on a lot of people, on a lot of us, that all this time throughout 2025 where he didn't post, he was most likely battling this disease. I don't know if it's most likely, but certainly, as somebody who has a first-hand knowledge of what cancer can do, I lost my favorite person to cancer, and we had the whole process to see it take little bit of your life, little by little, till there's nothing left to take. I can definitely say that this is a painful way to pass, and this may be harsh, but my heart goes out to his family, his loved ones, the people who had to be by his side throughout the fight, only to get to the end and lose. It's a very, very painful thing to watch a loved one go through, and I can't imagine what the uniqueness of his own case would have been. Although there was a moment people started spreading rumors regarding his health, there was a particular time we heard about his health crisis. But I think some of the rumors surrounded something basic. Some are saying gonorrhea, some are saying STI, STD, some are relating it to sexuality. So it's just at the time, okay, if that was the case, maybe after a while, because I don't think that would limit him from showing up or coming out and posting or doing his job, even if he has STDs or STIs. There are a lot of actors with all them STIs and STDs who are acting. So why would his own case be different? We also need to put in mind that at some point it was reported that he was depressed. And I think that was also around that period of time where people were wondering where he was for months upon months. And I think this was the middle of 2025. Where is Alex Ekubo? And the rumors began to spiral. Some are saying relationship, sexuality, STI, and then the conversation that he was depressed also was put out there. And eventually loved ones of people who were close to him came out to confirm that he's fine, that they've seen him, that he's good, that he just wants to stay off social media. And I think Big Brother Pere shared a screenshot of his conversation with him that happened towards the end of somewhere after the middle of last year, 2025. Checking on him and him being appreciative and him being, prayerful, talking about, God help us all and all of that. That is a voice of somebody who was most definitely dealing with something. And the timing is just so interesting and consistent in a way where I remember when my own mom got her own diagnosis and when we started treatment, and it's usually just this period. In the space of a year, it just happens, and it made me panic, it made me scared, it made me look at my life and wonder if this disease is going to come for me. And it's unfortunate, but cancer is not an old people's disease. So many young people have died. A lot of people have fought this battle silently and never made it. And you just, when you stop seeing somebody that you used to see every now and then in your neighborhood, not everybody's a celebrity, but there are some people who you just stop seeing. The next door neighbor, the woman who sells fish at the corner, the woman across the streets, and you wonder where they are. And then 1 year, 2 years later, you hear they pass, and you're like, you stop seeing them long before they pass. And that is the thing with cancer. Cancer is, from what I know, people who deal with it fight it so silently, so quietly, so privately, that they are hoping to beat it so that they can come out and give their miracle testimony. But sometimes people lose. And one of the reasons why people lose is that before they get the diagnosis that it's cancer, it's already at the advanced stage. And that is the scariest thing about cancer. It just creeps and creeps. It's burrowing inside of you and you don't even know. And the one time you start to see the signs and you go to check, you're being told you're in stage 2, you're in stage 3. It's spread to other organs and there is nothing you can do. And I think his depression, if he was ever depressed, was knowing the fact that whatever his diagnosis was in an advanced stage. And that alone is depressing, because he knows long before we figured out that he has died, he knew he was going to die. There are some sources claiming that he had even written out his will. One of the last few videos we saw of him in between the hiatus, we saw him, being the one who championed his sister's wedding. There's a video of that, that traditional wedding per se, and I think that was in that same year, 2025. There was another video of him with his niece and nephews, some kids, in what looks like a hospital room per se, or a section of the house that has been, I don't know, it looked like a compartment in a hospital ward, but I can't make it out to be. And even in the video, you could tell something was up. You could tell, you can't pretend. That's the thing, you can't pretend to hide the pain. You could not. You could see it, and you could see that he was clearly dealing with something. Even the video of him anchoring, I don't know if his dad is still alive, but he was basically playing his dad at the sister's traditional wedding. You could see that he was already drying up. He was losing weight, and that would have taken a lot to come out and just do it. Man, I wonder what his friends Utsi or Ekubo would be feeling now. Hopefully, I don't know if they've given out a statement, but Nollywood people have reacted. Kate Henshaw has made a post, and seeing Kate Henshaw's posts, let me tell you people something. When I was at the hospital with my mom when she was dealing with cancer, Kate Henshaw also was in that same hospital with her mom. And there was another actress whose husband was there too, but I won't name her. But Kate Henshaw's own, I feel like this would hit her a lot differently, because she went through this with her own mom. And I remember the day her mom passed, I was right there in the hospital. I saw her, she saw me, but I don't think she remembers, because I had seen her when I first moved to Lagos. We took pictures. She was a sweet person. Then only like 2 years, 3 years later, I'm seeing her again at the hospital, but it was a bad time. She's crying her eyes out. The hospital is filled with cars. There were so many people there. Prayers are coming in from the room. The nurses are running helter-skelter. I go to my mom. I'm like, Kate Henshaw is here, and my mom is here. And my mom is like, oh, well, she knew about it. She had heard about it, but, only for her to eventually pass on. And the next day we heard the news. Omo, I don't want to go through that memory lane. Even after you deal with the battle, even after you fight the battle with cancer and you lose or you win, cancer gives you this fear. There is this fear that comes after it, because the scariest thing about it is that it comes back again. Like, it comes back again. When you look at it, they'll be like, most cancer people with this stage get 5 to 2 years survival rate. 5, 6 to 7 years. What does that mean? Is that you're eventually gonna die. You're just most likely gonna, in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it's gonna happen. And that's the thing. Cancer, they say HIV is not a death sentence, but cancer, unless you get it early and you catch it early, that is your only fighting chance. You have to catch it at stage 1. And at stage 1, not a single sign or symptom, depending on the kind of cancer. If his cancer was colon, which I suspect, although people saying it's kidney, it's the same sentiment. You don't see it until when you start to see it, it's already too late. Most of the symptoms are just regular symptoms that your body just adjusts to. Your body just adjusts to it, so it becomes like, okay, they happen, not knowing that it's already starting. And that is why it's important that whatever you feel, anytime you feel something new in your system that you don't understand, take it seriously. Don't just go and a doctor that will tell you, oh, don't worry, take Panadol, take paracetamol, go do the screening. And I want to tell you people this story that happened to me, and I'm going to share it. It's still something I'm dealing with, but I will share it because I don't know who is watching and who may need to hear it. So when my mom was sick, I was always at the hospital. It's a cancer-specific hospital. I remember talking to one of the doctors because I was reading a lot. I was learning a lot about cancer. I was like, what is happening? I was like, okay, fine. If this is to my family, that means it's going to happen to one of us. Will it be me? And then I remember asking the doctor, what's up? Can I do a colonoscopy? I don't know. Let me do a colonoscopy because I want to check or do some kind of screening or something. And he was like, if you're not having any symptoms, you're good. Don't worry. Calm down. You're still young. Chill. Calm down. When you're going to do it, wait till you're 40. You have to be 40 first before you do it. Nobody's going to run the colonoscopy on you unless you get to 40. The man was just being all, wait till you're 40. I'm like, I'm 27 at this point. I don't know if I have to wait till 20 till I'm 40 to check myself. And lo and behold, I did a colonoscopy. I think the following year, I had some symptoms that I thought was of concern to me. Even though when I passed it on to the doctor, they were like, okay, take these drugs. I'm like, no, this is more than drugs. I want to check something. I really want to do this. And eventually I did the colonoscopy, and it turned out that I had a condition that was affecting me. And funny enough, that condition is what, according to what I learned, if I had not known about it to manage it and make some changes in my lifestyle, I would have gone on living like, this is nothing, or living like it's normal. And eventually it turns into cancer, colon cancer. So imagine if I had waited till I was 40 to check myself. By the time I'm checking by 40, it's already cancer. And that is why if you're in your late 20s as a man or a woman, or in your 30s, this is your time to get them colonoscopy, check your kidney, check your liver, run those tests, go to the screening. If you got money, do those things, because then it tell you the money you will spend for the test and the checkup is nothing compared to the money you will spend on the chemotherapy. God help me. That chemotherapy, I don't want to even get started with that. That's a part of this conversation I may not even get into. There's even this theory that some people used to say, because back then I was really learning about cancer, and I saw some comments were like, why is it that it's almost as if it's the chemotherapy that kills the people dying of cancer? That some people can even deal with the cancer and they have more time to live till it kills them, but chemotherapy kind of just makes it very quick. I don't know. That theory, to me, when I heard it, I was not about to doubt. I was like, if I got to blame something, then I got to blame something, because God damn it, cancer is a very, very annoying thing, especially when it starts to spread. You can't even, if it's a kidney cancer, what would have been the case for Alex would have been to do a kidney transplant, and that would not be a problem, because I'm sure he has money or has friends and has his fans also contribute. But for the fact that the kidney transplant was not an option, it was a clear indication that it had spread past the kidney, probably into the colon, into the bladder, into something. And that alone is a 90 to 95% chance of surviving. It's unfortunate. It's painful. We don't know what more is being said about his passing, except what we've heard. And we're hoping, we get to learn more details. I don't know what else is there to hear again. This is a very painful turn of events. But we'll keep our ears out and see if anything come up. I specifically want to know the type of cancer. I want to be sure of it. I want to know the kind of cancer that killed him. I don't know why, but I want to know. Because it's sad